Welkom in Villa 65. Welkom ook Richard D. James. In Holland zouden ze zeggen H.D. James. What does the D stand for in your name, Richard?
David.
David. It's not as with Mr. C, who revealed here a few weeks ago that the C stands for cunt. So the D stands for...
Perhaps he was joking. Dick.
Dick, yeah. But that's not true.
No.
Okay, you're a decent person. Welcome in the studio.
He was probably lying anyway.
What happened to your twin brother?
I haven't got one. It was a friend, sort of a colleague I started to work with when I started out. And we just sort of parted company. Difference of opinions.
So now you each go your own way?
Yep.
Are you, Richard, a whiz kid or just a plain musician?
I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to call me.
What would you be? Would you like to be?
I just do what I do, you know. I mean, I'm not interested in labels or, you know, whether people buy the records or what. I just do the music I want to do. And if people buy it, thank you very much. But, you know, it's not an important factor.
I'm first gonna translate this. Richard D. James zegt dat hij geen tweelingbroeder heeft. Toen ik hem dat vroeg, maar dat hij gewoon een vriend had met wie hij samen muziek maakte. En dat ze nu beide andere wegen bewandelen. En hij is geen whizkid en ook geen muzikant. Hij is gewoon zichzelf. Een eenvoudige jongen en dat kan je ook zien zoals hij hier zit. You use different names, Richard. Polygon Windows, Analog Bubble Bath, Aphex Twins. Why do you do that? Is it a kind of mystification?
No, different contracts, different record labels. It's the easiest way around working with different circles of people to use different names and only sign exclusively as a name and not as a person.
And has each name a different style?
Yeah, but it's started off as a sort of defined different projects, but the sort of projects ended up going on top of each other in the end, so, you know, it's become pretty distorted now.
So there's not a weird split inside your brain?
I don't know, maybe.
Hij denkt dat hij wel normaal is, zegt hij. En dat hij verschillende namen gebruikt voor al zijn projecten, dat heeft met contracten met platenfirma's te maken. Richard, your own sound, is it different from most sounds because you build your own equipment?
I hope so. That's why, you know, that's the sort of main motive behind building the actual stuff, you know, so I can produce stuff that sounds different as possible from what other people are doing.
So you're also a technician, a musician and a whiz kid?
Well, I'm a technician now because all the stuff I've built over the years is, you know, it always breaks down when I take it out and play live, so I'm constantly repairing stuff, you know, every day, which is a pain.
Richard bouwt zijn eigen studio, zeg maar, zijn eigen equipment. En hij hoopt dat hij daardoor ook een eigen geluid krijgt. Richard, you made remixes for Curve and recently for Saint-Étienne. Do they ask you or the other way around?
They ask me very nicely. But no, I wouldn't ask them.
You wouldn't ask them?
No.
Because I thought both bands, they have beautiful girl singers, so I thought that's the way he makes his entry.
I don't think they're that beautiful, actually.
No?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like the music, but it's not an important factor for me to remix something. I mean, I prefer to remix something I don't like, because I get it's more of a challenge to make something good out of something that's crap, rather to make something that's good out of something that was already good. It's just the way I prefer to work.
Wat Richard doet met bijvoorbeeld het remixen van Curve en Saint-Étienne is van wat hij dan crap noemt, gewoon goede muziek maken. Dat wil zeggen muziek of sounds die klinken als die van Richard D. James zelf. Richard, there's no real second generation of techno. Is techno a dying breed?
Listening to what comes out, mostly that's the impression I think you'd get, but you have to look a bit harder before you can find the real good stuff, you know. A lot of my favourite stuff is on really small limited pressings, so unless you look hard you're not going to be able to find it, and therefore you're going to be listening to 98% of the crap that comes out every week.
You're going to perform for us tonight. What can we expect?
You have to listen and find out.
Okay, we will. Richard D. James live in Villa 65. En dan blijft het even stil. En dan komt het eraan.